Hello and welcome to The Insider, a show designed to clue you into the biggest news, events and announcements inside the video games industry, discussing with you some things you may know, some things you may not, and the glue that holds it all together is a little bit of my own opinion. My name is Paul James, thank you very much for watching, and let's kick off another episode. So the worst secret in all video games has finally been confirmed. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is officially a thing. It was formally announced by Square-Enix only a matter of hours ago when you saw this. This is a very late night episode of The Insider. I'm recording this immediately following the midnight announcement of the game. And this follows close to 18 months of speculation, rumours, leaks. It's been perhaps one of the worst, like I said, one of the worst kept secrets in the business. And in this week's episode of The Insider, I'm going to break down for you everything we know based on the small slice of footage and information that was given to us today. So let's check it out. So the talk about Shadow of the Tomb Raider has existed for about 18 months now. And that all dated back to a clever, tricky, perhaps inappropriate photo that was taken over the shoulder of a Square-Enix employee who was working on a document that contained the phrase, the title, Shadow of the Tomb Raider in the top corner, and then contained a whole bunch of information, presumably about the game that followed. Now, whilst most people couldn't really read the information that was typed there, the logo was crystal clear. And it told us that Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the thing. And over the course of the next 12 months, we didn't get any more information. We weren't too sure what was going on. Crystal Dynamics was supposedly not working on it. It was meant to be Eidos Montreal. Then all of a sudden, Crystal Dynamics announced an Avengers project, and there was a whole bunch going on there that made people think, well, maybe this is not actually a project that's in the works. Maybe it was some mock-up. Maybe it was a concept. Maybe it was something scrapped and thrown away. We're not too sure. But then in December of 2017, there was a post from Square-Enix, courtesy of the Tomb Raider Twitter account, that highlighted the fact that they were looking to explore a different tact when it came to the next Tomb Raider game. Yes, there was officially one in development, but no, they weren't prepared to announce it yet. They were going to wait, and they were going to follow a model which I personally compared to something that Bethesda kind of rolled out when it came to Fallout 4, where the turnaround between announcement and release was going to be quite short. And that's brought us to today, which we'll talk about next. So unfortunately, like all things relating to this game, a whole bunch of information leaked about Shadow of the Tomb Raider before the intended reveal just last night. The website was put up, there was a countdown clock. People jumped onto the site, picked through the source code, and found that the game was coming September 14th, it was coming to PS4, Xbox One and PC, and a lot of the fun was spoilt there. Square Enix did tease the fact that it was going to be a trailer, and unfortunately that was spoiled as well. I guess it must be linked in with the current Tomb Raider movie that's coming out and some of the preview screenings. The trailer was being aired, people had recorded on their phones, it popped up on the internet about 10 or 12 hours before even the final announcement occurred. It's been a bit of a mess for this game in terms of the promotional side of things so far. It's a real shame, but it's drummed up this strange bit of hype for a game that's kind of had every key marketing milestone kind of obstructed and interfered with. But now that we've seen the final game out there, there's plenty to talk about, despite the very brief trailer. So let's talk about that next. So we know there's going to be pyramids, tombs, some really dark environments, a lot of violence, a bit of stealth, a lot of the experience that we've come to expect from Rise of the Tomb Raider and the original Tomb Raider reboot. But we don't know a hell of a lot more than that. We got 20 seconds of trailer footage in this particular game, and ultimately it served as a tease for a full, formal reveal on April 27th. Now I have to say, this fact itself is quite disappointing. We've been aware of this game, and we thought it might have been a code name for a while there, but we've been aware of Shadow of the Tomb Raider for quite some time. And for Square Enix to kind of go dropping one of those announcements of an announcement is really quite disappointing. They've built this thing up, they've linked it into the fact that the Tomb Raider movie is currently hitting cinemas more or less as we speak, and they've kind of preyed on that excitement to give us essentially nothing. We know the platforms, we know the date, we know that Lara's in it, surprise, surprise, and that's about it. There's one interesting little tidbit that comes out of this entire thing. The way this game is being described is it is Lara's final act in Lara's origin story. Now that's a lot of responsibility to be thrown upon a studio who didn't work on the first two acts in this trilogy, this kind of sub-trilogy within the franchise. Eidos Montreal, if it is in fact true that they are working on the game, must be getting doing some sort of consultative work with Crystal Dynamics to inform the direction of the game, because it is a lot of responsibility to throw upon a team to close the arc that is currently taking place. Now we'll see how that plays out. Who knows? Maybe the Eidos Montreal fact was a total rumor. Maybe it is in fact Crystal Dynamics that's taking the helm, and maybe they are working on two projects, the Avengers one and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But that all remains to be seen. April 27th, I guess, can't come any quicker. Let's see what they've got in store. One thing that is really important when it comes to this Shadow of the Tomb Raider news is that release date. So we know the game's coming September 14th, and it's had an early opportunity to plant its flag in the ground. We know when Rise of the Tomb Raider first launched, and it launched exclusively for the Xbox One at the time, that it went head to head with Fallout 4, and things did not end particularly well for Microsoft or Square-Enix or Rise of the Tomb Raider in that particular scenario. The fact that they've been able to get out early, put their flag in the ground, it beats Red Dead out the door, it beats Call of Duty, it beats presumably Battlefield, and a whole bunch of those other big heavy hitters that are going to come down the line, is a great thing for this game. It does mean, especially given its multi-platform day and date, it does mean that players get an opportunity to sink their teeth into it, really enjoy the experience, pick up on all the word of mouth that's been following Rise of the Tomb Raider and the original Tomb Raider reboot, and get into what is going to most likely be a fantastic game. Could this marketing thing be done better? Yes, a hell of a lot better. But it's better than nothing. So that wraps up this episode of The Insider. If you've enjoyed it, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing to the channel. All those buttons are down below here. That allows you to get access to weekly episodes of Patched, The Insider, The Video Games Club, Player 2 Plays, a new series called The Late Game Review, and a whole bunch more. There's some awesome stuff that can only be found at our YouTube channel, so hit that bell, that notification button, so you get alerts to any trailers or any content that we put up. That'd be really appreciated. If you enjoy written content, please make sure to visit the website player2.net.au, where you can find reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, the Player 2 Writers Draft, and a whole bunch more. There's some awesome stuff there contributed by some of the best talent in Australia, so please do yourself a favour and check it out. And if you really enjoy what we do, be it written or video, please consider visiting our Patreon. That is patreon.com/player2au. By enlisting with us, offering your services, you get early access to a whole bunch of videos, not so much this episode of The Insider, given the scenario that I've outlined for you before, but you get early access to a whole host of videos, from Player 2 Plays, to Insider episodes, to Patched episodes, Video Games Club, a whole bunch more. All that stuff I was talking about before in the video space, a large portion of that you get early access to. Hit certain tiers and you will get exclusive episodes that are only for you, the patrons. So if you enjoy this show, if you enjoy more of the stuff that we're doing at Player 2, please consider becoming a patron, because there's some really cool things there just for you. And for ongoing updates, make sure to find me at PaulJamesP2 on Twitter, the website you can find at Player2AU on Twitter, and until next time, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.